Hey, just thought I'd give you guys a little bit more of an update. Just finished welding up some of the cracks that were here. There's a crack running this direction and up here. This was all bent inwards a little bit, so I've been straightening this out. I had to weld the bottom one as well. And I pulled the cutting edge off. Since we're getting quite a bit of rust down here, right where the center's at. Let me move this out of the way, but you can see it's getting pretty thin and rusty back in here, and I'm not going to invest a lot of time and money into the snowblower because there is quite a few of them out there if I wanted to replace it. There's actually a crack right here, holes there. So what we're going to do with this one is I'm going to get some flat stock and put it on this top half. I'm thinking probably 1.25 inches, and I'll use the cutting edge as a guide for the holes, and I'm going to sandwich some steel between the inside here and this bottom piece of metal between the cutting edge and that piece of flat stock. Now I'll reinforce the bottom of this because I can get another snowblower for probably $200 if I look around, because they didn't change them a whole lot over the years. And another thing I want to do with this cutting edge is actually nice on this one. These don't. This must not have had a whole lot of hours on it. This cutting edge sits almost flush with the end of that. I had to add a little bit of seal to it. What I want to do is weld some 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch steel to the end of this and have it overlap this side of the snowblower. So I'll have it welded to the cutting edge, and the cutting edge will be bolted on the bottom, and I'm going to have 2 more bolts right here that's going to go through a piece of plate that's going to sit in the outside of this to reinforce this so it doesn't bend anymore, because my tractor's 1,000 pounds with all the weights on it and it's just cracking this apart. Don't have this so much of a problem with the other snowblower because the snowblower's got a little bit more metal beefiness to it, I guess you could say. Because it's got this big dish here, it's very difficult for this to bend, as well as it's got flat stock on the outside of it, and it's got this big heavy skid shoe reinforcing it, and even some flat stock down here. So all these angles in here make this very very heavy duty. So usually these snowblowers hold up really good, and this one doesn't have rust holes in it like the other one did. I might restore this blower. And this doesn't even have hardly a lip underneath the cutting edge. And for this one I have to put a bracket right here for the PTO lever that hooks up here so I can actuate the PTO. I'm not going to worry about a belt guard because they cost money and they're not all that necessary. It just makes it look pretty. Maybe if I find one I'll put it on here, but I do have the fingers, the belt guides on it. It came with the tractor when I got it, so that's always nice. But I have to redo the grill on this because there was one time, the one year actually scratched up all the paint. I gotta see if I can't add some spacers to keep it from scratching up the paint next time. But just thought I'd get you a little bit of an update. For those of you that are still watching, I just want to say Happy New Year. And I'm also wondering how you think 2020 is going to look. I think it's going to look pretty good. I mean, you know what they say about 2020 vision. Ha ha ha. Waiting for the car to warm up before I take this back into the garage. Usually once it stops smoking a little bit from condensation, then you know the exhaust is all warmed up. The last thing you want to do with a classic car is start it up, run it for a minute, and shut it off, because then your exhaust is all full of moisture. So this has been running for about 6 or 7 minutes now, and the condensation is just about done. Once it's done vaporizing all the moisture in the exhaust, then I can take it back into the garage. So there's a bit of an update for you. I got a new 66-inch belt in there. I'm hoping will fit, but I won't know until I test it because this isn't a factory clutch. Hopefully it all works. Also, for those of you wondering, LEDs are still working. So, if you like the video, make sure you give me a thumbs up, and have a good day. Bye.